Hello guys, I'm Heston the Quickest, and in this video I'm going to show you how to remove an image background in Photoshop. So without more ado, let's get started. So first off, we open our Photoshop and we are going to open up our image, alright? So instead of creating a new file, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to tap on open. But for me, I'm going to use another method which is called the drag and drop method, alright? So I'll come to my file explorer, I select the image I want to use, I drag it and drop it in Photoshop over here. As you can see, it's going to open the image here. Okay, voila. So there are several ways to crop an image in Photoshop. But first of all, I'm going to show you a little bit complicated ways, and I'm going to also show you the easiest ways. Alright? So the first thing, so you might decide to use any of these tools. For example, you can see the selection tools over here. We have the lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool, and much more. So as you can see, my cursor is showing this plus icon. It's because my caps lock is on my keyboard. So all I'm going to do is to tap it off. Alright? So if I use the lasso tool, it means that I want to be able to trace this image manually, alright? But that will be a little bit hard, alright? So for example, let's say I want to trace this. You can see it's really hard, alright? So I'm just going to undo this. And if I use the polygonal lasso tool, I can be able to use this to crop out the image, alright? So all I need to do is to start from somewhere like this. I'm going to trace it carefully, alright? So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to rush up, but when you're doing it, you're going to trace it. So all you need to do is to trace everything. So I'm not going to take much time, okay, alright? So if you're doing this, you have to take your time. But anyways, I'm going to show other methods. Let me just rush up. And also be careful so that you don't double click, because if you double click, it's going to automatically make a selection, alright? So just a click each, and if you want to go back, just tap on delete on your keyboard instead of pressing Ctrl Z. Alright, just tap delete on your keyboard and it's going to go back. Alright, but since I'm rushing up so that we can move to something else, I'm gonna do it very rough. So I select all of these and I go back to the first place, and I end it here. And if you want to also move around, you can hold your space bar on your keyboard and also click and drag and move around. Alright, then I'm just going to join it over here. As you can see, when you come to the first starting point, you're gonna see this small icon over here that is like 0. Alright, well, as you can see, or if you cannot find it, just double click and it's going to automatically make a selection. So as you can see, this is the image selection is made. And if you want to learn more about Photoshop, I have a 1-hour complete Photoshop course here on YouTube. Make sure you check it out, link in the description below. Alright, so after the selection, you tap on select and max. Alright, select and max. And over here, you're going to see the selection. As you can see, it's very rough edges. Alright, so under view, you can use overlay, you can use any one of your choice. But as for me, I love using black and white. As you can see, I love using black and white. And you can increase the smoothness. Alright, if you increase the smoothness, you can see it will make it more smooth. And if you can increase the feather as well, it's going to feather the edges. But if you increase it more, it's going to feather in such a way that you will not leave it. As you can see, it's too much. So we just leave it here and we tap OK. When we tap OK, it makes our selection so that if we remove the background, the edges will not be sharp. The edges will be a little bit smooth. Alright, so all I'm going to do is come to this icon over here. This is a max icon. Make sure your layer is selected, tap on it, and it's going to remove your background. Alright, but as you can see, it is not perfect because the edges is very rough and I was rushing up everything. Alright, so let's just undo it again, and I'm going to press Ctrl D to deselect everything. Alright, you can also use a magnetic lasso tool as well. If you just make a click here, you just follow it. It's going to guide you. As you can see, it's not really perfect. Not really perfect, but it can guide you from the beginning of the image to where you have to join it. Alright, as you can see, it's not really perfect. Alright, if you go to the end, you can double click on it and it's still the same thing. Alright, so I'm just going to Ctrl D to deselect all of these. And sometimes if the background of the image is plain, you can use the magic wand tool. Alright, use the magic wand tool. You can just click on the background As you can see, if the background was plain like white or any other solid color, you would have been able to select everything, but I can also try to select it multiple times to make sure I get a good selection. Alright, as you can see, I'm trying, but it doesn't really work well because the background is not plain. But there's no issue. And I can also add to selection or subtract from selection if I use another tool called the quick selection tool. Alright, quick selection tool. If it's on plus, means that you want to add this part. As you can see, it's on plus, I'm adding this other part. If it's on minus, means you want to subtract some other part. So I'm going to do all that. As you can see, it's selected a little bit well. And I select minus to subtract this other selection that is not really perfect. As you can see, I'm subtracting it. So we just okay, it's not really bad, but this part of the face, make sure you check it very well. That's why you need to zoom in very well. To zoom in, you can use Control plus or Control minus. Control plus to zoom in and Control minus to zoom out. Or you can hold Alt key on your keyboard and you scroll your mouse wheel up to zoom in and scroll it down to zoom out. As you can see, it is okay. Let me add this other part. Tap on the plus. Let me add this other part. Oops. Let me undo it. Sorry. Let me click on the minus because remember we are selecting the background, not the image itself. Okay. And this part as well. So it's not really perfect. It's not really perfect. And you can also use additional tools as well, like the lasso tool to add to selection or subtract from selection. For example, I choose the lasso tool. I can use it to add. If your hand is not shaky, you can use the polygonal lasso tool to add. You can subtract this part or you can add it as well. So let me select add. Alright, that's it. As you can see, that's it. So we have made our selection using this bunch of selection tools. You can see, but we're going to see the easiest method. Don't forget to watch the video to the end. And after doing all of this, you make sure you select the selection tool. If not, you're not going to see this option, which is select at max. Click on select at max. And it's on black and white. It's on black and white. Okay, as you can see, the image wasn't selected, the background was what was selected. I increase the smooth a little bit. I can use my hand tool by pressing the space bar and I drag it to see it very well. And I can also zoom in. I can increase the smooth a little bit and increase the feather a little bit as well. So let me increase it again, and that's it. I can tap on OK. As you can see, after that is done, you can use any of the selection tools here, right click and tap on select inverse. This will select just this man alone, just the subject alone. And you can also come here and tap on the max icon over here, and you can see your background is cropped automatically. So you can go ahead and save as PNG. Alright, let's also see the easiest methods. I'm going to give you two or three easiest methods. I'm going to undo all of this. I just hope you're following. I can use what we call the object selection tool. This helps to select the object in the background depending on your version of Photoshop. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click here and drag to select all of this. So it's going to identify the subject over here. Alright, if the subject is identifiable, it's going to identify it. So all we need to do is to wait for a while, and while the AI does its job. Okay guys, as you can see, it has selected this. As you can see, he has selected this. As you can see, it's not really perfect because he thought that this was an object as well, because this wasn't really blurry. So when it does this, as you can see, it makes a good selection. All you need to do is to switch to another selection tool, for example this one, and you're going to select on the subtract over here, and you remove this part out. You can learn all of these techniques in my 1-hour Photoshop course. As you can see, select it very well. You can do the same select and mark, and you remove the background. Alright, so another method that is very simple. When you open your image like this, you tap on the key, this lock icon, to unlock your layer, and you go over to window and you go over to click on properties. Right, when you click on properties, if you scroll down, you're going to see quick actions. You can tap remove backgrounds to remove the background instantly, or you can tap on select subject But first of all, let us tap on select subject, because select subject helps you to create an automatic selection of the image, and this also allows you to either add to a selection or subtract from a selection. So first of all, let us click on select subject. As you can see, it selects the subject very well, which means that I can zoom in to go through every detail to see if there's something I can use any of these tools to add to the selection or to subtract from a selection. Alright, so don't forget to select this tool, any of these selection tools, any of these. Then you can have the selector marked where you can see if everything is okay by you. As you can see, but with this select subject, you can also be able to refine the edges of your work and do some additional touches, as you can see. But after that, you can also remove the background over here. But the last method is going to just be an automatic process. I'm going to undo all of this. After you have unlocked your background over here, select it. Under quick action on properties panel, scroll down, you tap on remove background. With just one click, you're going to be able to remove the background. Just wait a little while for the AI to do its job. And voila, the background is removed completely. So this method depends on the kind of image you're using. If this image has a good quality, for example like this one has a good quality, it's gonna do it perfectly well. All right, so remember to always use high quality images on your device. And after doing this, you can go ahead and go to file, and you can export as PNG. All right, can export as PNG and use it in your other works. All right, so don't forget to use high quality images. And even if the quality of your images is not that good, you can still use all of these other tools over here. I hope these methods of removing a background on an image in Photoshop was easy for you. You can try any of these. This image is linked in the description below so that you can use it and follow along. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, don't forget to support this channel by liking the video, drop your comment below, and most importantly, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future videos. So see you in my next video. Adios.